Well, in the truest sense of the word, a ginger ale, you can be sure if I'm ever in Rancho Cucamonga, I will abstain for any part of a year that I'm in Rancho Cucamonga. But as this is the land of the not fruits and nuts, I'm having my afternoon ginger ale, thank you. Nothing like a suck of ginger ale. Learned that at an early age. They're still cute though. Excuse me, but this is my session. I know it's easy to confuse us because we look so much alike. You know, in the section before the trial, someone commented that Kelly was camera shy and she didn't want to get on camera. And to sum up the performances that we just saw, it's a shame that that quality wasn't contagious. Before we get into the performances, such as they were, I can't help but remark that on my sister Margie's house in California, a very nice house. I guess Fred must be doing well. He's got a backyard half the size of what we had on Mauer Street, which is palatial in California. So I guess the reinsurance business is doing pretty good. The house must be enormous because I could see white space in the walls. Every time the camera went past a white space, I kept looking down at the floor to see if something had fallen off. But I guess the house is just too big even for Margie to fill up. Now, let's talk about the trial. See, the people who are smart in the family limited their exposure on camera as much as possible. Jim DeFrisco falls into this category. Jim knows that he'll never be another Doug Llewellyn, and it shows. Ha! Boom! Look at that ball. There's always a little hand in the family trying to get into the act. You must get that from the Doherty side of the family. Jim, next time, use a windsock, please. That's what us professionals would do if we're in a windy situation. But other than that, he limited his exposure, except for calling me a snake, which I'll get even with him someday. Now let's talk about Brian Carey. What can you say about a guy who puts a t-shirt on describing a derivative knockoff product which they've copied from Maxim and National Semiconductor? I mean, that's the sort of thing which, you know, you pretend that you're not involved with instead of putting it on your chest. Other than that, he handled himself well. Clearly he was led astray by the people who had brought the charges in this case, and he'll know in later years not to cross me with these type of attacks in the future. What were the attacks again? Maybe I should... I'm sorry, what?
You better watch him over there with that cup. It's got stuff in it.
Hey, what are you doing? Be careful. Being a father is a 24-hour job. Even when the baby's clearly a clone. What were the charges here? A snob? Acting superior and being an effete snob. Well, I don't know who's going to be watching this when we're down at the shore, but some independent opinions. When you're talking about that crowd, it's hard not to be a snob. Doing bacon on the street? I'm still looking for evidence on that one. I'll have more to say about the ginger ale situation a little bit later on. And I have a animal down here. I have to show the animal. This animal is looking to leave his teeth in somebody. And he's got 2 candidates. And we'll talk about that a little bit later too. And as far as the baby looking exactly like me, people stop me on the street to say it, but just like Curly, when I think of trying to drum something into my dense sister Eileen's head, I'm very frustrated. You frustrated too? Alright, let's go through the performances here.
No, Johnny, honey, that,
Don't feed ice to the dog.
He just took it out of the dog's mouth.
Don't eat ice after the dog has had it. Me? Give it to Daddy? Thank you. No. You have that one.
The dog had that one too.
You did?
Yeah, the dog had both of them.
Johnny? Devil Daddy.
Yeah, he certainly looks like his father.
Devil Daddy.
Is it good, Johnny?
Some of the better performances were given by my defense attorney, Greg What Me Worry Rowe. I was particularly impressed when he asked the question to Eileen about whether the baby looked at all like Charles de Gaulle. A very tricky question, and considering that Eileen was schooled largely in California and probably didn't know who Charles de Gaulle was, it had an excellent opportunity of succeeding, but clearly someone who was schooled somewhere other than California must have warned her about tricky questions from the defense attorney. Marjorie Rowe, in her performance as Marjorie Rowe, was excellent. The fishwife tone of her voice is just the way I remember it. And the edge on every, the kind of whining edge on every sentence is just perfect. I think I can clear up something for Margie though. She asked kind of rhetorically during the trial that she has no idea how the package came to me. You sent it to me. You sent it to me. You see, you write an address on the package, you bring it to the post office, and they send it wherever you write the address. That's how it got to me. You sent it there. But other than that, the performance was excellent. Now let's get on to some of the lower lights. Fred Rowe. Sir Fred Rowe. Why weren't you in that stupid suit of armor that is sitting around your house? Interesting that he accuses me of being a snob. Well, as I said before, it's hard not to be a snob with this group. But let me tell you something. Fred Rowe, you know, they triple reinsurance rates in 1 year. They moved him to California to soften him up for his terminal position in Idaho. Oh, Fred, we need you to take over some problem in the Pocatello office for 6 months. You know, and we'll never see him again. But, you know, we're on a little bit of a roll here. You know, he's in Los Angeles. Like I said, rates triple. That'll never happen again. So he's being uppity. Being a little uppity here. I remember Fred Rowe when he came out of Temple. Appeared on our doorstep. It was fresh out of Temple High School in Northeast Philadelphia. Dating my sister. He's known me from before when he got married. He doesn't like to talk about the days before he married my sister. In those early days, it seemed clear that he had only one definable skill, and that was the ability to eat large amounts of ice cream. I mean, we used to think his middle name was Briars. Having ice cream the night after dinner, Mrs. Doherty? I'll tell you, it was tough. Briar's stock went up 10 points in those days.